Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to review Hearts on the Fly by Toni Shiloh, the latest book by Toni Shiloh, which came out February this year. Yes. Now, if you don't know this already, I love Toni Shiloh's books, and I had the opportunity to chat with her along with my book club sometime last year, and I posted the video of my chat with her, which I'll connect to. Now, Hearts on the Fly. Why did I love this so much? First of all, it's a hockey romance, and I realized that I've quickly become a fan of hockey romances after I read Anne J. David's From Ice to Home, and then I read this, and I have a few others lined up on my TBR. Now, this features Jabari Hall, who is a hockey player, and he experiences an injury on the ice, which takes him out of the game for a while. And his friends decide to set him up on a blind date. It's a bit ironic when you read the book and understand what happens. But he's set up on a blind date with Val here, and it turns out she's his ex's younger sister. And so they decide to just remain friends because they actually do enjoy each other's company. And so what ensues against their better judgment is a sort of friends to love story, because they are fighting against their feelings and obvious attraction for each other because they want to remain true. On Val's part, she wants to remain true to her sister, and Jabari doesn't want to mess up the dynamics that Val shares with her older sister. However, because of their relationship, Val is forced to confront certain issues she had swept under the rug in terms of family dynamics, in terms of her place in her family, how her sisters and her parents treat her, and also learning to stand up for what she herself believes in and wants for her own life. For context, she's the middle child. So if you're a middle child, you'll understand how she tends to be overlooked or tends to make way for others to feel more comfortable. Now, what makes this story even more beautiful is how Jabari's experience with the injury causes him to question his life, his purpose, and brings him into deeper faith with God. And Val helps that along through their friendship. I enjoyed this so much, and as you can see, I have so many tabs. Unfortunately, I don't think I have enough time to go through all of them. But wow, I just flipped to a part which is a quote about reading. And I feel like reading is something a lot of us take for granted. And here we see how much of a privilege it really is. And so here, this is the quote: "No one tells you reading is done in your central vision. And when your vision is blurred or dark spots fill the area, reading becomes a chore you want no part of." Can you imagine that? And so I'm always really thankful to have such great eyesight to be able to read whatever I want. And then here's another cute quote from Jabari's perspective. And basically, Val has returned. No, Jabari returned from a meeting, and Val meets him and is asking him about it. And she hugs him. And then his thoughts are, that scent she's wearing is intoxicating. And then she asks, "How did the meeting go?" And he goes like, This is all in his head. How can she ask me questions when I can barely keep myself upright? She smells like sunshine, and all I want to do is bury my nose in the crook of her neck. And he tells himself, get it together, man. And that's one thing I really love about Toni Shiloh's books, that it remains true to the Christian faith in terms of being closed door, and yet does not shy away from describing that Christians are human beings, and actually God gave us these feelings to express. And so the physical attraction is palpable, but written in such a respectful way and yet so realistic, like that quote I just read. Now I'm really looking forward to, I believe there's going to be another book that features the youngest sister. I can't remember if there was, no, there was, I thought there was actually a sneak peek. I may have imagined it, but I think this is going to be a series. And I must say that I did not like Val's older sister very much. The younger sister, I think because of her own experience in the book, she starts to see Val in a new light, and she is more open about how she feels that Val has not been treated fairly, and so there's a lot of family, not a lot, well, a bit of family drama, and I think Toni Shiloh does a good job of describing things like that. Another exciting quote from Val's perspective: "Why does Jabari's love sear my very soul?" I mean, if you haven't read this, you really need to. So yeah, this is Heart on the Fly. I read it earlier this year, and so I'm not able to go into as much detail as I would have liked, but I highly recommend this. Toni Shiloh's books are amazing, and I'm looking forward to the next book in the series. And if you are looking for hockey romance which has, black representation, like, this is it, because we see that a lot of the hockey romances tend to center white players. However, we do know that there are black players in the hockey field in the USA and I believe Canada. I don't know much about the game myself, but as I was reading the book, I did a little search and I found that there are actually quite a few black players in the hockey field in the US and in Canada, and so this book is so apt. Also, if you're looking for a book that features some disability rep, this one is for you. The level of detail she goes into, and in the beginning she says that she did research, and also her own grandfather, I believe, experienced what Jabari goes through. I don't want to give it away, but it's really well done, and the family drama will keep you, and also the acute and intense attraction between Jabari and Val is just so beautiful. And then when they finally come together, it's amazing. So yeah, that's my review of Hearts on the Fly. If you've read it, let me know what you thought. If you're thinking of reading it, please